who used to be the fastest girl in high school in Connecticut, but then she started losing to biological boys who identified as girls and competed against her. Why are you suing now about what happened back then in high school?
Well, I actually sued my senior year of high school, and that was because all 4 years of my high school experience, I raced against these two biological males who ended up taking 4 state championships, 2 All New England awards, and countless other opportunities for myself to advance. And it's not fair to force females to participate against biological males, and so that's why I ended up suing.
We're back. Just wanted to touch on a topic today that kind of crossed my mind, something that we are dealing with in the United States, Canada, and other countries in the world, and that is transgender women being able to compete in women's sports. Now, we are getting ready for the Olympic season. The Olympics, as you know, are athletes from all around the world. They come to compete. You have the men's side, and then you also have the women's side. We just want to just touch bases today and discuss, with the Olympics coming up, would it be right to have transgender women competing in women's sports? Now, whether you agree or not, I would love to hear your comments, but I want to come from a more anatomy type of space. Now, we know that primarily men, the way that our DNA, the way that our body structure is made, men are stronger. Their muscle mass is different than that of a female. So for that cause, it is my belief that women should play women's sports, men should play in men's sports. Maybe, just maybe, we need to have a category for transgender people who would like to still compete in sports, who don't feel comfortable playing on the male side, like to play on the female side, but due to anatomy, it's just not fair. So let's just talk about it. For an example, I did some digging, and I want to start with the lion. Let's start with the African lion. Now, the African lion can weigh anywhere between 550 pounds. That's the most that they have measured a male African lion to be, with the female African lion weighing at about 400 pounds. Clearly, you can see that there's a difference. The male lion, it has more muscle tone. He has more weight. When the lionesses get together, it's normally some sisters, and they make up what they call a pride, where you have the king, or you have the male lion, and then you have his queens, which are typically sisters. What the lionesses will do, although these women are strong, sometimes the buffalo may be too big, and it takes that male lion, to actually crush the bones, to crush the spine of that buffalo, so that they all can work together and bring that buffalo down. But when it comes down to like warthogs, when it comes down to like antelope and, regular animals that they prey, typically the females, the lionesses, are able to do that. But they do know the difference. They know their strength, they know their power, and they know what they are capable of doing and when male assistance is needed. So that's a very interesting point. Tigers are pretty much solitary animals. They come together to mate, and then the man goes on about his way. The Bengal tiger, if we're talking about male and female, we're still talking about that, weighs anywhere between 400 and 550 pounds. Where the Bengal female tiger weighs anywhere between 220 to 353 pounds. So again, there's a difference in the size of the tiger. The male is larger than the female. Their body masses are different. Even though you can't tell with the tiger, you can't really tell from afar off if it's a male or a female, because on the outside they look the same, but in terms of their body mass, it's totally different. Now the Siberian tiger is much bigger. It's actually the biggest cat walking around the earth. A Siberian tiger, a male, can get all the way to 700 pounds, whereas a female only gets to 400 pounds. That's a vast difference, letting you know that there is a difference between the male and the female. All of these animals that I'm representing right now, they are mammals. We humans, we are mammals. We have our children pretty much the same way. We don't lay eggs. The eggs that we have as mammals, those eggs are fertilized by a seed. The seed is very important. And the last animal that I wanted to bring up was a gorilla. The gorilla pretty much eats just vegetation, but they grow massively. The male gorilla can be anywhere between 300 to 500 pounds, whereas the female gorilla is anywhere between 150 to 200 pounds. So again, there is a difference in the size, in the body mass of all of the animals that are mentioned. And I'm sure that there are other mammals out there that you can compare the size. So this is something that we definitely need to be mindful and aware of when we are playing sports, especially as humans, especially as females. Now, I've seen lots of videos where even wrestling and fighting, you have trans women who are competing against women in these very tough sports.
Andy Murray, he was been joking about myself and him playing a match, and I'm like, Andy, seriously, like, are you kidding me? Because for me, tennis and men's tennis and women's tennis are completely almost two separate sports. So I'm like, if I were to play Andy Murray, I would lose 6-0, 6-0 in 5 to 6 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, because no, it's true. It's true. It's a completely different sport. The men are a lot faster, and they serve harder, they hit hard. It's just a different game, and I love to play women's tennis, and I only want to play girls because I don't want to be embarrassed. I would not do the tour. I wouldn't do Billie Jean any justice. So Andy, stop it. Yeah. I'm not gonna let you kill me.
Of course. Now, when you're young, when you're children, you haven't reached puberty yet, that it's a difference. You know what I'm saying? You're average. You're the same. You're on the same playing field. But once that puberty hits, that's when your body starts developing into adulthood. That's when your body changes from being on the same playing field to actually developing into adulthood. So with the Olympics coming up, I just wanted to jump on here and share that. It's something that we don't have to worry about as of yet, but it may be something that comes about in the future. It may be a debate in the future, especially where the Olympics is concerned.
I think there's a lot of different ways that we could find a good solution here, but what we can't do is compromise the female category. We have women's sports as a separate category for a reason. Males have anywhere from a 10 to 50% performance advantage, and that's why it's so unfair to force girls like Chelsea and other young women across the country to compete against male athletes.
I don't know your opinions about it. I personally believe that there should be a separation, because someone can really get hurt. It's a difference. Even Serena Williams said, hey, I play tennis. I play women's tennis. I don't want to compete against a male tennis player. It will be a totally different game, because a male has more muscle mass than a female. The body, I don't care how you change the outward appearance, at the end of the day, you are still born with certain dynamics, DNA dynamics, that makes you either a male or a female. And regardless to what surgery you have, that DNA that you originated with, it will always be there. So let me know what you think about this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. Comment below, and I will see you in the next video. God bless.